On Twitter and Facebook, I'm seeing people really, really happy about the Joe Biden electoral college victory. They're, they called the shit just too soon. Honestly, with the irregularities in the in the results, there's some stuff that's just funny. And in Michigan today, they noticed a machine gave 6,000 votes to Biden that should have went for Trump, and that I don't know how often that software was used and how often that happened in how many states, but there's it's going to be challenged in court, and the Trump team's going to be challenging some of the ballots, and it's not over yet, and we're just in for a month or so of just constant shit. The Trump v. Gore election in 2000 lasted 45 days. The court battles and everything lasted 45 days. And it's very, very possible, statistically, that Trump could still win the Electoral College with going into these states. I'm going to give you examples. Arizona was called for Biden, and this 11 electoral votes and 90% reporting. And there's only a 19,000 vote difference between them out of 3 million and some. It's very possible that Trump could get 19,000 votes just thrown out. And it's also possible there's a similar glitch in these voting machines. I mean, that 19,000 sounds like a lot of votes, and doing a hand recount normally means a change of 2 or 3,000. But I'm gonna link in the description how often absentee voters votes ballots are thrown out. I read a long time ago that it was one out of every 200 or 300 votes that were thrown out, but I couldn't find that article, and it's been years. But I did find some where it's 4 to 8% of absentee ballots are thrown out, and roughly half of the votes are absentee ballots. So, 4% of a million is 40,000. Just let that sink in. 4% of a million is 40,000. So, anyway, Arizona is still in play, believe it or not. The next one is, it's going to be Georgia. Shit, I missed it. Anyway, Georgia, the difference is 9,000 votes. And like I said, half of these were absentee. Easily, they could throw out, 80,000 votes. I mean, that's the way it is. They could throw it, and theoretically, half would be for Trump, half would be for Biden. But the overwhelming majority of the absentee and mail-in votes were from Biden supporters, and that makes it kind of scary. Um, the next one is Michigan, and they had the thing with the machines in Michigan where they gave Trump votes to Biden. And what people don't understand about that is if that's widespread at all. When you take one vote from one person, give it to another, it's not a change of one vote, it's a change of two, right? And like I said, you had the absentee and mail-in ballots there. And, you could throw out 2 to 3%, 4%. And it's 45,000, but I think, honestly, that if they do the hand recounts and the counties are using the same machines with the same thing, if it's anywhere near that 6,000, or actually, let's say it's 1,000, it's 46 more counties, I think it is, that closes that up pretty quick. And they didn't throw out, I don't know how many votes they threw out from the absentee and mail-in, but that's something that I expect is them to throw out a lot of votes. I don't like that. I wish it wouldn't happen, but life is the way it is, and I expect shit to be thrown out. North Carolina is close to call, but the same thing goes in there. Pennsylvania is another one. People, you're talking 47,000 votes. Like I said, a lot of times they throw out 3-4% of absentee ballots. Out of 3 million, that's what, 120,000. You could see how quickly this could change if they challenge the districts and do a hand count and they could test votes and whatever. Votes are gonna be thrown out, and I didn't realize it was a 4% average, or it's been up to 8% at times in Florida in 2008 when it was Obama McCain. It was almost 8% they threw out in Florida. I'm gonna link the article in the description. But like I said, they just called it too damn quick, and all the people that are celebrating are gonna flip their shit if what I'm hypothesizing is true. So I'm hoping that people kind of expect it could flip. Minnesota, you're talking 20,000 votes out of 3 million. Like I said, they could throw out up to 4%. You don't know about if the machines did it wrong, if there's a glitch in software there. I'm hoping this is over and there's a peaceful resolution. I'm not a Trump supporter. I didn't vote this year because I didn't see a candidate that was worthy of my vote, and I live in a heavily Republican area, so my vote wouldn't have mattered that much. And that's an argument to get rid of the Electoral College. But the reason why I'm not for getting rid of the Electoral College is, I'm going to show this to you real quick. Trump lost by 4.5 million votes, the popular vote, nationally. And anyway, most of that is just California. California, if we went to the popular vote, would pretty much run this country, or they would have a lot more say in things than what they should. I don't know if they turn out their voters bigger or better, or if it's just such a large population. But one state having that much influence, and California's, I was there one time when I was a kid, but I relocated from Michigan to South Carolina, and I can tell you it's a world of difference on what people want and what their interests are and the style of living. I understand now, relocating like that, why you have Electoral College in place. There's no way somebody who's not a Democrat or super liberal, progressive, or whatever is ever going to win enough votes in California to make it where they could win the state. And they turn out, as long as they turn out in the numbers they do, it's always possible for someone to win the Electoral College and win a ton of states and lose the popular vote. Yeah.